How's it going, guys? My name is Brett Moran, and in this video we're going to practice a nice beginner's sequence for yoga, and we're going to end with a nice shavasana. In this practice we're going to focus on some gentle back bends. We're going to flow, just make the body nice and fluid and really release any tension or any stress or anxiety in the mind and in the body. All you need for this practice is a yoga mat and an open mind. Namaste. Okay, so let's begin. Roll out your yoga mat, and we're going to begin by laying down on our backs. So I will literally just want you to lay down on your back. Slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time and lay on your spine. Put your feet out to the edges of the mat and just allow your knees just to knock into the middle. Place your right hand onto your belly and your left hand onto your heart, and just close your eyes and breathe. Breathing in and out through your nose throughout this practice. And just relax. Let go of any stress, any anxiety or any tension in the mind or in the body. As you inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose, and just sink deeper and deeper into your yoga mat. And just allow the sounds of the waves to take you away. Breathing in and out. Be here now and surrender. Surrender to this moment. And just with your right hand, just notice how your belly expands and deflates. And then just bring your hands out to the side and inhale both knees up to the sky. And rock the knees over to the right side, and then inhale back over to the center, exhale over to the left. Inhale back up. Exhale over to the right, and we're just going to keep going left and right. So you inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And we're just releasing any tension in the lower part of the spine. And remember to use your breath to move your body. So your body and your breath, everything becomes one, a fluid movement. We're really going to focus on the spine and waking up the energy and releasing any stress or any tension inside the spine, because we've got these neuropeptides in the spine, which are basically a fancy word for your emotion molecules. And the more this fluid, this spinal fluid, cerebral spinal fluid, flows up and down your spine, the more balanced your emotions are going to be. So drop your knees over to the right hand side. Maybe you can put your right hand on top of the knee and look over your left shoulder and just relax, stretching out the left side of the ribs. Inhale as deep as you can, really expand the ribs, open up the rib cage. Exhale, just relax. And then inhale the knees back up to the center. Exhale the knees over to the left side. And again, you can put your left hand onto the right knee and look over your right shoulder towards your right hand, and just breathe in as deep as you can and exhale. Really let it all go as you breathe out. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, and then bring the knees back up to the center. And now place your hands onto the knees, open up your knees and start to rotate circles going out and downwards to the bottom of your mat, just so we can start opening up the hips. The hips connected obviously to the spine. We hold a lot of motion, a lot of tension inside the hips, so just start to rotate circles, really make as wide circles as you can. Remember to use your breath, so inhale as you go around, exhale as you go around, and then reverse it, go in the opposite direction. And if you want, you can just let go, so take your hands away, so you make sure that your hips are doing the work rather than your hands. And something I like to do is just to open up my legs and just do laying down splits. So you can have your legs really extended out, or you can bend your knees and bend your legs. Just put your hands on the insides of the knees, put a little bit of pressure on. Or you can open up your legs, just start to release the tension inside those hips. And maybe you can rock side to side very gently, breathing in and out of your nose, just connecting to your body. Maybe you want to give your legs a little wiggle, and then put your legs back onto the mat, your feet down at the outside edges, and just wiggle left and right. Bring the knee in, left and right. Beautiful, well done. You know, and this is something I do every single day before I begin any practice, is I just wake up and wiggle, I just move around. So when you're ready, you're going to slowly get up and you're going to come into all fours. So when you're in all fours, actually we're going to come down into child's pose. You're actually going to lay down into child's pose, knees out to the edges of the mat and your big toes are touching, and bring your forehead to the mat and walk your fingers forward and really extend the spine. Toes are flat on the floor. And now breathe into the spine. Inhale, exhale, stretching out the whole of the spine from the top to the bottom. Bring your awareness to your forehead, your third eye. And remember, yoga is a meditation, so when we get into the posture, we breathe and meditate. When you're ready, now we'll come up onto all fours position. When you're in all fours, you want your hips directly over your knees and your wrists directly under the shoulders. So we stack all the joints on top of each other basically. You're going to inhale, look up, really look up. Externally rotate the biceps out, and as you inhale, suck your belly in and internally rotate the biceps. Inhale, externally rotate the biceps only outwards. And then exhale, suck it all in. And really make this movement come from the lower part of the spine and the pelvic tilt. So as you inhale, go up, really exaggerate your bum going out. And as you suck your belly button in, really tilt that pelvic under. And go at your own pace. Inhale, really push the floor away, suck the belly in. And then let it all back out. Couple more. Really, really, really open up that spine. Tilt that pelvic. Shake what your mama gave you, wiggle that booty, and really open up that back. Perfect. So now let's come into a nice thoracic back stretch. So I want you to extend your hands out and just start to wiggle around. Again, this practice is all focusing on the spine today. Beginner's practice, but really focusing on the spine, and just move in any direction. The thoracic is the upper part of your spine. Push your shoulders into it, wiggle around, get your hips involved. You can see I'm going crazy there on the beach. Just moving around. Close your eyes, just let go. Feel your body. Be really fluid in your practice. Allow your body to move you rather than the mind thinking so much. Connect to your breath. Just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, so we're going to come to another back stretch for the top half of the back. What I'd like you to do is come into all fours. Again, this time really make sure those hips are right above those knees, and now walk your fingers forward. So maybe you just come to there and that's it. Maybe your chest won't touch the floor because your back's tight, that's okay. But if you can, bring your chest down and your chin down to the floor and really extend those fingers out. Really walk those hands forward, and just to take it to another level, the second level, is bring the elbows up off the floor. And you can see this is really stretching out my top part of my spine. But make sure those hips are directly above those knees, or the knees are directly underneath those hips. Try not to move too far forward. You're better to have the hips and the knees are aligned rather than extending too much, because you'll lose the stretch in the spine. And when you're there, breathe into the top half of the spine, like breathe into the thoracic part of your back. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and out. Really see if you can bring those elbows up off the floor. Push through the fingertips. Bring your shoulders up as much as you can, and push the chest and the top half of your spine down, and then slowly release. Beautiful. Bring your hands back. And you're going to really spread your fingers out. So really, when you come into a downward facing dog, you want to spread your fingers out, your middle finger's facing forward, untuck your toes, and then lift your knees, hover, and then lift your hips up. Imagine someone's pulling up those hips, and then you push your heels down. Now the heels are down, start to pedal the feet out. So bend your right knee, bend your left knee, and bend your right knee, and then bend your left knee. And the leg that's straight, really stretch it out. Maybe you can bounce a little bit up and down. Look towards your toes, look towards your belly button, and just pedal those feet out. Now we're going to inhale the right leg up and back, point the toes down towards the floor, and lift that leg as high as you can. The more higher you lift that right leg, the more you're going to stretch and feel it in the left leg and the back of that hamstring. Take a few inhales and exhales into the back of that left leg. And then when you're ready, open up your hips and drop that right leg behind you. Look underneath your right armpit. You can wiggle your toes and your feet around, just flexing your ankles, releasing any tension. You can start to rotate your hips in one direction, rotate them in the opposite direction. Again, just opening up the hips, creating as much space as we can inside your body before we begin some sun salutations. Bring that right leg down, maybe walk and pedal the feet out again. In a moment, we're going to bring up the left leg. So inhale, kick that left leg up, point the toes, keep the toes pointed down so your hips don't open straight away. And again, remember, the more you lift that leg up, the more you're going to stretch out the right leg, the right hamstring. And then when you're ready, then you can open up to drop the left foot behind you, rotate the ankle in one direction, in the opposite direction. You can look underneath the other armpit. And then when you're ready, you start to rotate the left leg round and round, just opening up that hip. Beautiful. And then go in the opposite direction. And then bring that leg down. When you're ready, come into your downward facing dog. Remember, the fingers are spread. And here's just one movement that I like to do. Is I just like to rock side and side. I feel like it clicks my back. It opens my space, my spine up just before I begin. So move around just for a moment. A bit of freestyling. Just wiggle around. Just go up and down maybe. Upward facing dog, cobra. Anything you feel like your body wants to do. I know I've created this video and I'm giving you the instructions, but your body is the teacher. So, wherever you want to move. Doesn't have to be so perfect. Let's just come back down into a child's pose just to catch our breath again.